So the AI trade is rocking and rolling today, guys. I love it. We have 5 stocks to cover, one of which I just added more to today. So we're going to break down the charts, what I'm doing, and the overall market, which as of right now, we are up across the board. So guys, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join my Patreon if you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, my trades, investments, how I sell options to create income, guys. And if you want to be a part of my private Discord, all that's linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stockssurfest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, cheers, take a sip of your coffee, and let's dive into it. And I just realized, guys, I have no coffee left. That's a problem. We're going to need a refill after this video, but let's talk stocks, guys. As of right now, the Dow is slightly down, but who cares? The Dow just hit all-time highs. We'll cut it some slack. Today is the day of the Qs. The Qs are up 1.25%, completely popping here on the intraday chart. You guys see it. And on the 4-hour time frame, we're starting to break out of this channel that we were talking about. We have been talking about for a while here on the videos, right? We're clearly starting to see this cup and handle play out. We have a golden cross. We're breaking through, and I'm not surprised considering all the other indices have been hitting all-time highs. SPY's at 777 right now. We hit another all-time high today at almost 780, right? We've been breaking out on SPY above this channel. The Dow, same thing. Even though it's down today, it just hit all-time highs a couple days ago. Same with the Russell. Actually, the Russell just hit all-time highs today. And the bull flag that we called out a couple of videos ago is playing out on the Russell. So this is exactly what I talked about last week, the week before that, as SPY was breaking out and the Qs weren't. I told you guys the Qs are lagging a little bit, but that's not going to last long. The Qs are going to follow suit, and that's what we're getting. That's what we're getting at this point as the AI stocks are heating up. A lot of these hyperscalers have been crushing it. Now the Qs are following suit. We're right there. We're right near all-time highs, guys. We hit 748 back in June. Now we're at 732. If we have another 2% up move from here, we're going to be at all-time highs. Just like that. We're going to be at all-time highs. So the market in general looks amazing today. Looks phenomenal. We're completely breaking out on all these indices. The VIX is coming down. Where is it at? It's at 1450, which I'm still considering adding some VIX calls. Maybe that expire in October, November, December, just as a hedge. Nothing crazy, right? I think the VIX is a bit low, but it could always go lower. Just because it's low doesn't mean it has to spike tomorrow, but to kind of have some protection in my portfolio, maybe some 15, 16, 17 calls on the VIX is what I'm considering. Again, that expire in a couple of months. I haven't taken that trade yet, but it is a trade I'm considering right now, as the VIX has been squashed over the last couple of days alone. Really, the last 2 weeks, it's down from 21 to 14. The VIX has come down 30%. And again, that doesn't mean it has to go up tomorrow, but heading into the midterms, things in the Middle East aren't 100% resolved, nowhere near that, to be honest. We could still get another wave of volatility and more selling in the market potentially. I kind of want to position myself for that and make some money off of that. But I'll keep you guys posted. And again, all of you in my Patreon, you see all my real-time moves. Make sure you all sign up to the Patreon. Shameless plug. So let's dive into some stocks now, go over what I did. I bought some more of my position today of a stock I owned. I haven't owned it that long, about a month. I added more to it today. We might as well go over that quickly before we dive into these other stocks. GLW, Corning. I added more Corning today, man. And I probably should have bought more when all these stocks were unwinding. But okay, I let it stabilize a bit. I let the the leverage get sucked out of the system. The leverage that we know of at this point, who knows? Maybe another hedge fund blows up. But I let that, stabilize a bit. The stock hit 115. Now it's back to about the 160s, mid 160s. So I added more to my Corning position, and I'm looking to sell covered calls on the stock, guys. This stock, I mean, holy smokes. If you look at the options chain, the implied volatility on Corning right now is unbelievable, right? The premiums are so elevated. I think if you sell the $190 calls on Corning, one contract, you're getting like $400 or $500 in premium. I mean, it's pretty nuts right now. And if you look out even further, I mean, the premiums stack up. That's only for what, 3-4 weeks out. You're getting $500, $600 in premium. So I'm looking to sell calls on Corning. This is not, a super long-term position for me. It's more so a mid-term trade. And I wouldn't be opposed to getting rid of it at 200, 210, 195. That's where I'm setting my strikes here to sell calls. So I'm doing that on Corning. This stock setup looks interesting as well. Honestly, it looks similar to other names that we're going to talk about. We have, I don't think Lam Research is on the list for today, but we have an inverse head and shoulders on Corning. You guys see it. We're trying to break through these moving averages, and it's the same setup on a lot of these AI stocks, quite frankly. Lam Research being one of them, and this is already breaking out. You guys see Lam is starting to see that inverse head and shoulders play out. I think Corning could see a similar pattern here. Lam Research is front running a bit, what Corning I think will do. But that's what I did today. I added a little more Corning, nothing crazy, right? But deepening my position a bit, and I'm probably done adding it. To be honest, I fully built out the position now, and I'm going to let it ride a little bit and sell calls on it while implied volatility's through the roof. We're going to continue to make income, because when I'm constructing my portfolio, guys, when I'm making investments, of course, I'm investing in growth companies. I'm all about the longer term growth of my portfolio, but I'm also interested in amplifying my returns via selling calls, selling puts, right? Creating income in the portfolio. That's what I do every single week, every single month in my portfolios, guys. I'm selling calls, right? And it is more work, obviously, than dividends. I mean, dividends is the purest form of passive income. You literally don't do anything. It's way better than any other form of passive income when it comes to the effort you need to put in. But when you're selling calls, it's not much it's a little effort, but still, it's not much effort. And you got to manage the position, and you're getting way more money, in terms of income than you would with dividends. So if you put in a little more work with calls, selling puts, running the wheel strategy, you're going to make a lot more money income-wise in your portfolio, and you're going to be able to amplify your returns. And eventually, man, if you have a decent portfolio size, you can make money, a decent amount of money selling calls, where you can actually live off of it. You can actually pull the money out and supplement your income, do whatever you want to do with the money. It's a great way to make money in the stock market. Anyway, I added more Corning. Micron looks like it's trying to break out, guys. We're up 6% today. Micron's at 970. I hope Burry's out of those shorts, man. He's probably shaking in his boots right now. This stock is clearly seeing an inverse head and shoulders breakout forming. Like I said, a lot of these AI stocks are looking like that. Micron's starting to break through these moving averages for the first time in a while. Looks like it's starting to take out the descending triangle. I like the way it's shaping up here. And honestly, Micron, we all know the fundamentals are still intact. It's just been in limbo. And once the market really starts backing the stock again, because the market's a bit uneasy. Oh, is the AI trade over? Oh, is Burry, are all these guys shorting these stocks? Is it time to sell? cut the noise out, focus on the fundamentals. Once the market realizes that, which it might start to be realizing that now, this stock's going to go back to $1,000 plus, and this could be the start of that. This could be the start of that, guys. So MU is going nuts on the day. Intel is also moving. Ticker INTC is at 107, and it's also breaking out for the first time in weeks. We're above these moving averages. We have a nice, you guessed it, inverse head and shoulders. Do you guys see it right here? Pretty clear as day on Intel. That's starting to play out beautifully. We can see left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We're breaking through these moving averages. And yeah, I mean, this could have legs. This run could have legs on Intel, again on Micron. NBIS continues to go up, man. Well, now it's only up 1%, but earlier in the day, it was at 275. I mean, this name got the 275 after going up 30% yesterday, and now it's at 260, up around 1%. And I was about to, well, not really, but I was considering, a thought popped in my head yesterday. Stas, maybe you should buy some puts on Nebus. It's getting a little overbought. Or maybe CoreWeave, right? And I was like, yeah, let me not do that. Let me not do that. And thank God I didn't, because both of these stocks have gone up more. I mean, look, buying puts on an overbought AI stock that just crushed earnings, it's a difficult game to play. Ultimately, these will cool off. They will pull back, but who knows when, and who knows how much they'll pull back before a lot of money piles in, because we know a lot of the leverage has come out of the system. We've seen the unwind, and it looks like money's coming back in. So I don't know if we're going to get a major crash in these names, probably not, but we might get a pullback, which is kind of what I was trying to play yesterday with those puts. But it's risky. It's like playing with fire, guys, and I'm not considering it really anymore. I much rather just hold cash, be patient, than try and almost gamble on a pullback here on these hot stocks. It's a risky game, but, you know, it could work out. Who knows? But it was a thought I had, but I didn't pull the trigger on it. I might. Who knows? But probably not. ARM Holdings is another one, ticker ARM, which, oh, you guessed it, another inverse head and shoulders. I mean, it's almost a meme at this point, guys. We have the left shoulder, the head right here, boom. We got the right shoulder. It's trying to break out of these moving averages for the first time in a couple of weeks. So things are looking good. ARM Holdings, you know, a lot of these stocks. SMCI is pushing $40 a share. Last I checked, yeah, 10% up. This one's getting a bit overbought. It's another one that I'm like, ooh, maybe I should buy some puts. But who knows, man? This could get to $50 again before it pulls back. They just reported earnings. The stock likes the earnings. Obviously, the earnings were pretty good, and it keeps on ripping. Now SMCI is up almost 100% off the lows from a couple weeks ago. Actually, we are up over 100% off the lows from March, and it just keeps on crushing it. So the AI trade is clearly getting another pop here, right? And I think this could be sustained. I don't think we're going to get another 30% drop in some of these stocks this week or next week. You know, I feel like this run might have some legs to it. Again, I'm in a lot of these, well, not a lot of these stocks, but I'm invested in the AI theme. So if the overall AI trade does well, your boy is doing well. My Nvidia is going to go up. My other stocks, some of the hyperscalers will go up. GLW will go up. And yeah, I mean that's where we're at. That's where we're at, guys. And I'm loving it. Overall, the market looks good, but don't get too complacent when we're at all-time highs, because things could come out of nowhere and smack you right in the face, which is why I'm considering VIX calls a hedge. And I'm not going to go heavy on this. It's not like I'm going to go, I'm about 20% cash right now, guys. So I'm not going to put all my cash into VIX calls, but maybe I'll put, 2% of that cash, a small amount of money into that trade. And if it works out, we can make some money while stocks pull back, volatility increases. And then the idea is we take those VIX calls profits and we put it back into stocks on the pullback. That, in an ideal world, that's how it would play out. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. What stocks are you buying? Let me know. And join the Patreon. If you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, trades, investments, you guys see how I trade, how I sell options, how I do all this stuff, and you get access to my private Discord. It's all on Patreon. Link down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stocks.com/Patreon. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.